Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learned back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the November 4th, 2021 New Moon in Scorpio, Part 2 of 2. Now, as far as Sabian symbols go, well, the new moon in Scorpio is going to be at 12 degrees. And this degree can suggest that one may flourish in starting something perhaps Scorpio related, in a more introverted manner. Could be done in solitude and seclusion with few diversions. And it could be something like locksmithing or solving complex problems, something with the occult, which can include astrology, deep research, even embalming. Um, I would think you could do that in solitude and seclusion as in a position, but you may want to confer that on the internet. But anyway, now it also may be a degree of prosperity and affluence. Now, even in basic employment, this could be a position that may pay more than the person originally anticipated. So anyway, now, it's also important to look at the electional aspects. This could impact the delineation and interpretation. Now, this is going to make an opposition to Uranus and Taurus. Now, one way that this may manifest is that friendships, which is Uranus, that may be very loyal, steadfast, and persistent, which is Taurus, perhaps from the past, because Uranus is going to be retrograde, may oppose and be adversarial to a start that may be a Scorpio related. Oppositions are about opposing energy, and it may be again it could be some friends may oppose a new start that could be Scorpio related, or some major change or transformation that you may attempt to make in your life. Now, there also may be unanticipated disruptions or events at this time, and the thing is that might oppose. The thing is that could mean Uranus can be about unanticipated disruptions and events, and that could conflict with the new start that would be associated with the new moon in Scorpio. Now, but the thing is, though, the new moon conjunct Mars is can give added, courage and fortitude, and even more drive and motivation in embarking on something Scorpio related. So that could be very good for that. Now, it's also important to look at the electional transits that take place at this time, other electional transits, I should say, that take place at this time, as they can be amplified due to the fact that they're taking place at the same time as the new moon. Now, transit Venus in Sagittarius will be making a sextile to Jupiter in Aquarius. And Venus is going to be, again, it's going to be in Sagittarius. It will be at 29 degrees. And Venus in Sagittarius at 29 degrees by itself may manifest in an ending or culmination of a relationship that one may have been over enthusiastic about, or one that might have been with someone that was overly reckless or flighty, or the connection may simply have been very superficial. Now, the thing is, though, the sextile to Jupiter can give more luck and fortune in doing so. It could be fortuitous for moving forward, approaching the future at this time. The thing is, with the new moon being in Scorpio happening as well at this time, it could be where people could be ending that, the Venus, which is represented by Venus in Sagittarius at 29 degrees, ending more of a flighty, superficial connection, and will be willing to embark on one that is going to be not superficial, one that could be very deep. And Scorpio energy, of course, can be very provocative, but it's very it could be very deep. And the thing is, especially if you've got like the transit of Venus in Sagittarius, if it's like in your seventh or your fifth house, or something where it's relationship, more relationship related to transit, that could really reinforce and reaffirm the ending of some kind of relationship, and then the beginning perhaps of one, indicated by the new moon in Scorpio, where one would be more, again, a lot deeper. So anyway, and the thing is, though, another way that this transit may be expressed, or should say looking at the aspect, the electional aspect in transit, I should say, with Venus and Sagittarius making the sextile to Jupiter and Aquarius, could be making money doing something Sagittarius related. Venus, of course, is associated with money. Sagittarius, could be something Sagittarius related, which could be, for some examples, publishing, advertising, religion, philosophy, teaching in college, translation as some examples, or even sports. And with the sextile to Jupiter, it could give it more prosperity and luck, and it may be more fortuitous in doing so. Now, and the thing about this too, and it's a good aspect because Venus is associated with money, and Jupiter is connected with prosperity. Now, the thing about it is, and Venus is also going to be not just in Sagittarius, again at 29 degrees of the full culmination of the sign. So that could even intensify that even more, I would say. You have Venus, the planet of money, in the sign Sagittarius, the sign of luck, at 29 degrees. So it can be, and then again that sextile to Jupiter, that it could be a very prosperous time for people that are embarking on some new position at this time, I believe. So anyway, another thing too, it's important to look at transits, other transits to your chart at this time, because at this time they're going to be intensified because they're taking place at the time of the new moon. And the thing is, transit Jupiter, in my case, transit Jupiter in Aquarius is going to be making a tight square to my natal Taurus ascendant. Now, the transit aspect by itself, the transit Jupiter squaring my natal ascendant, by itself can be expressed in difficulty, perhaps in expressing jocularity and joviality outwardly. Now, and especially that you have ascendant, like in my case, Taurus, which is known to be very placid and stolid, and calm. Now, the first house is also connected with new beginnings, so it might be harder to be enthusiastic about that as well, as far as I go. Now, another way it could manifest is an enlargement, which is Jupiter, of astrological, which is Aquarius responsibilities, being in the 10th house. And that might take a toll on the physical body, which of course is the ascendant, in my case Taurus. Now the Taurus rising, latent powers of endurance, may be exhausted at this point. But it could also be, I got to guard against becoming overly optimistic or overly enthusiastic about what physically can be accomplished when this transit transpires. But the thing about this is too, there's also something I want to talk about on this day as well, on November 4th, 2021. Now, starting on November 4th, 2021, starting on November 4th, 2021, the day of the new moon, and continuing to November 6th, 2021, there's going to be a seminar in Las Vegas on nuclear medicine and PET testing. Now, for those of you that don't know, PET stands for positron emission tomography. Now, a radioactive drug is often injected into the arm or hand prior to the imaging process. Now, Scorpio is associated with things that are nuclear, and the sign Scorpio is also connected with things that are radioactive. Now, the new moon is about beginnings, and this could be the beginning point where people may become more learned on nuclear medicine and PET scanning and imagery. And it could be very useful and beneficial in detecting certain diseases. Now, the new moon is also going to trine Neptune, which is associated with diseases, and I believe that would make it more auspicious, a more auspicious time to get this test if needed. And it doesn't even have to be people that are at that seminar necessarily. It could be a time for people in general, regardless of where they are. It might be a positive time for this at this time for that kind of testing. And also the trine can also give more inspiration in doing this at this time. But anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Leonard saying stay well.